The scariest thing that could happen to any individual is they get comfortable not hitting their goals. And this happens all the time. Somebody has a big day and they have a bad week. Why? Because one day satisfied them. Most people's standards for themselves are way fucking lower than they're honest about. How many people are committed to their personal freedom? Show of hands. Good. How many people are committed to being financially free? Good, good. Mostly still some good participation. Even the Buddhist. Great. Who are you fighting with? Beautiful. That's it. We got to understand this. And I'm going to unpack. I'm going to give you 3 points today that you can go to help stay in the right frame of reference. Because success isn't a sprint. It's a fucking marathon. And this is why it crushes so many people. Is because they're sprinting to an end that isn't there. All right? It's the infinite game. Which means you got to reframe the way you're looking at success to think in terms of years and decades, not weeks and months. And then act on days and weeks. Does this make sense? And it shows up in the little things you do, like how do you come into Thursday? I know where our team is just based on how we do on a Thursday, right? Professionals show up on Thursday. What I mean by a professional is somebody who came in ready to win on a Thursday. What does a student do? What does an employee do? Oh, it's fucking Monday. Oh. So they kind of drag coming into the week because they got to get resetted. Right? Whereas a professional is coming in going, it's game time. I'm ready to rock and roll. So when did a professional prepare for Thursday? During the weekend, and certainly Wednesday night. So everybody raised their hand and said, yeah, I want these things, but what I want you to do as we go through this, you want these things, what do you want more? Because we always do what we value most. A lot of people are like, yeah, financial freedom, that sounds good. What do you value more than financial freedom? Yeah, being personal free sounds good. What do you value more than personal freedom? And if you're saying nothing, then ask yourself, when I look at my life, when I look at my decisions, is that in alignment with me saying nothing? There is nothing I value more. This is the path of self-discovery. 85% of human beings aren't awake. They're not aware. Big longitudinal study that just got done says 85% of human beings are not self-aware. You know what the leading cause of lasting success is? Self-awareness. Which means, if I'm trying to solve for something, what am I solving for? Self-awareness. So that I'm not the fly hitting the window going, this time it's going to be different. This time it's going to be different. This time it's going to be different. It isn't going to be different. Not unless you change, unless you update your belief systems. And if you're having a hard time doing it, you want to ask yourself, the way I think, how is this serving me? Why do I continue to show up this way? Why do I continue to value these things? But I'm here to tell you, success isn't sexy. And I think this generation is confused by that more than any other generation in history. It's not sexy, and we think it is. Why? Why do most people think success is sexy? Where does that come from? Fucking social media. Because when you look at quote-unquote successful people, what success looks like is the cars, the houses, the yachts, the lifestyle. And so you look at that and you go, you think that's success? Bullshit. Success is all the unsexy things that they did to get there, if they really did it. There's a lot of people that rent those fucking cars and take pictures next to boats and shit that they don't actually have. But if they actually got there, it's because they worked their ass off. And as motivated as we are to look at those pictures, I would highly suggest it's better to go find out what they fucking did. Go follow people and listen to content that's going to teach you how to get those things, not just show those things off to you. By the way, most of that shit anyway. That isn't what true freedom is. True freedom is when you get past the need to, you're compelled to try to prove to anyone else who you are. True freedom is you don't give a shit what other people think about you, so you're not buying shit to gain someone's approval that you don't even like. The great lie in America, consumerism. Buy shit we don't need to impress people we don't care about and that we don't even like. True freedom, we get past that. But what it does mean is we can take care of our families. So there's 3 points here I want to make today about learning how to master the monotonous, because success is a lifestyle and it isn't always sexy, and sometimes it's boring as shit, and sometimes that means saying no to things that you want to say yes to, which is how people get stuck. What do we value? What do we value more than the things we say we want? There are 3 key things here. Number 1, you must have a personal vision for your life. What do you want your life to look like? What does success look like to you? Success is different to everybody, and that's okay. That's the beauty of the human experience. It isn't all the same. What does success look like to you? Now, I would suggest I've yet to see the big 3 not on anybody's success list. The big 3 are always there. Big 3 are wealth, health, and relationships. No matter what your story of success looks like, it involves being healthy, it involves being wealthy, whatever that looks like, but financially free. It involves having great relationships. But you got to have a vision for your life. Why the fuck are you working hard? Why are you doing what you're doing? Now, I don't have time to go into this today, but there's also the depth of why. Your why changes over time. For some of you, you may still want a bright green fucking Lamborghini, and that's totally cool. I'm not going to talk you out of the season of your life. Go fucking run it. I'll help you get one. And it'll burn off its allure, and eventually we'll get to things that really matter. But you got to have a personal vision for your life. Second, you need to get competitive with who? Yourself. That's it. Quit fucking looking around. Everybody's on their own journey. Comparing yourself to other people isn't the game. Everybody is on their own journey. Some people are going to do it faster than you. Some people are going to do it slower than you. In either case, it doesn't fucking matter. We're all just walking each other home. The goal is for you to be competitive with yourself. The question to ask is, am I getting better day over day, week over week, month over month, year over year? That's the game. When we look around, we get distracted, and it fucks us up. Get focused on your game. You can't manage what you don't measure. Pay attention to your numbers. Am I improving? Am I handling objections I wasn't able to handle? Am I handling questions I wasn't able to handle? Is my lifestyle getting better? The biggest compliment I get at this season of my life is running into somebody's spouse, girlfriend, boyfriend, parent, grandparent that's like, their life has changed because of you. They're different. They act different. They dress different. They talk different. That's the stuff to me that really matters. Character development, discipline, accountability, responsibility, acting and talking like a professional. All of that leads to what you want. There is no shortcut. Anybody's trying to sell you a shortcut, I wouldn't pay attention to. There is no shortcut to success. Save self-awareness. Develop you. And then the last piece to this, and it's really important, is you learn how to celebrate the little wins. Right? Change happens a few different ways. Sometimes it happens what appears to be immediately or rapidly. Sometimes it happens cumulatively, right, over time. And sometimes it happens retroactively, where you only see the change when you look back. That's why it's really important that you celebrate the little wins, and it keeps you in the game. You may not be where you want to be, but you're further along than you used to be. I say this all the time. I'm like, I'm not even close to where I want to be. I got goals, much, much bigger goals. But I'm way further along than I used to be, and that keeps me engaged and motivated. And I promise you, if you've been here for 90 days, you're a better human than you were 90 days ago. And that's the work. So keep leaning in. Keep doing more. But push yourself. And then get serious about your goals. The scariest thing that could happen to any individual is they get comfortable not hitting their goals. And this happens all the time. Somebody has a big day, and they have a bad week. I'll say that one more time. Somebody has a big day, and they end up having a bad week. Why? Because one day satisfied them. Most people's standards for themselves are way fucking lower than they're honest about. And I know this. I could see it. Everybody in this building right now could make $2,000 a week. By the reason that I pegged 2,000, if you're making consistently $2,000 a week, you're in the top 5% in the country, which puts you in the 0.0% in the world. Especially at your age, for most people's age right now, $2,000 a week is a game-changing amount of money. You have way less stress. Everybody in here has the ability to do it. What's keeping you from doing it? There's other things you value more. That's the work. That's what you got to lean into. Figure that out. What's keeping me from doing that? It's celebrate the little wins along the way. Success does not happen overnight. It's not what you do once, it's what you do daily. But if you continue to lean in, you will get the success that you want. How do I know that? Because I fucking did it. That's why I could stand in front of you with complete conviction, because I fucking did it. I'm off the grid, baby. I'm out of the matrix. I can live my life on my terms. And now I get great joy by teaching other people how to do it. But you have to put in the work. There's no fucking cheat code. And it isn't sexy. So 3 things to master the monotonous and keep yourself engaged. What are they? Number 1, have a vision. Number 2, compete with yourself. Number 3, celebrate the little wins. We ready to go? Let's fucking go!